on Good Morning El Paso, breaking news overnight. 3 people are in the hospital following a shooting in Northeast El Paso. The latest from the scene in a live report. Funeral arrangements made for the Alamogordo police officer killed over the weekend.
Continues its march up the East Coast as beachgoers are forced to rethink their Labor Day plans. I'm Maggie Rulli, and we'll have more of the storm coming up.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Rise and shine and a very good morning to you, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. I'm Stephanie Valle. Hillary Florin is off this Labor Day, as is storm tracker Nicole Gomez, and meteorologist Stephen Decatur is filling in this morning. Hi, Stephen.
Hi, Stephanie. Temperatures today are going to be pretty nice once again. We're going to be warming up as we head into the afternoon. Another gorgeous day on the way for our Labor Day, but big changes are going to be coming as we head into the official work week here in the borderland. Here's a look at those relative humidities currently. Fairly comfortable this morning, only in the 60s, so it's not humid as you step out. It's just a warm morning, a warm start to the day with temperatures in the 70s, but these relative humidities are really going to be climbing as we head into the day on Tuesday ahead of our next system, a tropical storm that's working our way. But you can see right now, clear skies, 71 in Las Cruces, 75 in El Paso, 70 in Sierra Blanca, and 68 in Deming to start the day. So a gorgeous start. But again, that first alert is in effect. That flash flood threat is remaining high. Some areas are expected to see abundant moisture, and much cooler temperatures are in store for us with this first alert and that cloud cover we expect. Stephanie?
Okay. Thank you, Stephen. And we have some breaking news for you this morning. We can tell you that 3 people were shot at a bar in Northeast El Paso. This happened this morning at the IDK bar near the intersection of Grouse and McCombs. ABC7's Andrew J. Polk is live with the latest. Andrew.
Stephanie, there's actually a little bit more activity going on here behind me at the IDK bar. We've seen a couple more police units arrive. If you take a closer look here behind me, they're still working inside the building, but are also doing a bit more work outside. We understand that most of what happened this morning earlier happened inside the IDK bar there, but they're now starting to look at some of the cars that are left in the parking lot in this taped off area. Got more police units arriving and just more movement, maybe starting to let some of these cars go. But we have some video from earlier this morning as the investigation and more people were still around. According to emergency dispatchers, 3 people were taken to the hospital. We know one of them is in serious condition. According to police at the scene, the shooting happened after a group of men who left the IDK bar came back and got into a fist fight with another group here. Police say that one man from the group that came back had a handgun and then started firing. One person was shot in the stomach and arm. That is the person who we know is in critical condition. A second person was shot in the leg, and then a third person was shot in the leg and arm. We also know that the police gang unit is investigating this case. No word yet on any arrests or really any other details from this investigation. But again, back out here live, you can see as it just starts to light up here a little bit more, there's a little bit more activity going on here in the parking lot. A few people apparently checking in on their cars out here, but otherwise still a lot of cops inside, a lot of the crime scene techs still taking pictures inside and still looking at this entire scene. So this investigation apparently still going on for a while later this morning. So we'll have to check in on the latest and have it on air and online at KVIA.com as soon as we learn more. So for now, reporting live in Northeast El Paso, Andrew J. Polk, ABC7.
And like we mentioned earlier, today is Labor Day, and that means several places will be closed. That includes El Paso City Hall and all municipal offices, the Greater El Paso Landfill, public libraries, Doña County offices, and Las Cruces City Hall. Also, all public schools, UTEP, EPCC, NMSU, and DACC. Sun Metro will be operating on a Sunday schedule. Funeral plans are being made for Alamogordo police officer Clint Corvinus. Corvinus was shot and killed as he and another officer were running after a wanted man. Police say shots were fired at some point and Corvinus was hit. He died at a hospital. Corvinus was a 4.5-year veteran with the department. He leaves behind an 8-year-old girl. Corvinus will be laid to rest on Saturday. The public funeral will be held at 10 in the morning at the Taze Center on the 2400 block of Scenic Drive. It's the largest facility at the NMSU campus. And the man Corvinus was chasing was Joseph Moreno. Police say he had 3 active warrants against him, and he was pronounced dead on the scene. And that is going to be at the NMSU campus at Alamogordo. And now to Labor Day weekend being cut short for many along the East Coast. Former Hurricane Hermine led to 2 deaths and caused plenty of damage when it hit the south. And when it headed north, residents were warned to get out of its way, especially along the shore, where millions love to spend summer's last hurrah. ABC's Maggie Ruley continues our Storm Track weather coverage.
Hermine continues to batter the northeast.
You can feel it in the house when the waves hit, the pilings shake.
Now a post-tropical cyclone, the former hurricane is churning up dangerous waves and potentially life-threatening rip currents.
Lifeguards have been very, very careful with keeping people out of the water.
Governors along the eastern seaboard are taking emergency precautions. New York City beaches are shut down for the 2nd day in a row, and New Jersey has declared a state of emergency in some coastal counties. Crews have been working through the weekend, building up sand dunes to keep the storm surge at bay.
Ferocious. Absolutely ferocious.
Hermine slammed into Florida Friday as a Category 1 hurricane with 80-mile-per-hour winds, tossing trees, exploding power lines, and causing death.
I look out my window and we have an ocean on our front porch.
Hermine then turned towards Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia with torrential rain, leaving some entire neighborhoods underwater and caving in this giant sinkhole. Hermine remains a powerful storm that's expected to sit just off the coast of southern New England for days. And officials are once again urging people to use caution and to stay out of the water, even if the weather seems decent, as the threat of potentially deadly rip currents remains extremely high. Maggie Ruley, ABC News, Washington.
And we can expect another busy day of high-level diplomacy at the G20 summit in China. Yesterday, President Obama met with leaders from 2 vital American allies, the UK and Turkey. British Prime Minister Theresa May and Barack Obama said ties between their countries will remain strong despite Brexit. It's now 6:07, time for weather and traffic on the 7s. Getting things started off with Stephen Decatur. Hi, Stephen.
Hi, Stephanie. Another gorgeous day expected today. Relative humidities are relatively low this morning, and that first alert is in effect, but that's for big changes on the way. No changes today, though. These are a look at yesterday's highs. You can expect highs very similar to what we saw yesterday. 95 in Las Cruces, 93 in Alamogordo, 94 in El Paso. It's going to be close to that once again today. Here's a look at those current temperatures. You can see in the 70s still in Las Cruces, and middle 70s even in El Paso. So a fairly warm start. We're only going to warm up from there into the middle 90s by the end of the day. Again, very similar to yesterday. Mostly sunny skies. Winds shifting southeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour, but big changes are on the way as we head into the day tomorrow. Rain chances will drastically increase, and the threat of flash flooding will be with us. Mauricio?
Well, Stephen, good morning. Things looking good across the map right now, but we are starting to notice a little bit of a slowdown. Notice right here in Montana and far east El Paso, right by the intersection of George Dieter. Speeds of 12 miles per hour right now, so still no word from police if there's reports of a crash or accident like that, but I will keep you updated on this. As soon as it does clear up, I'll be sure to let you know and be sure to update you as well. Things are looking good, though, in Las Cruces. Good morning to you. 63 miles per hour, your speed on I-10 West. 64 if you're heading east towards El Paso. 64 also on I-25. So across the map, things looking good for the most part. Again, really that traffic congestion is Montana is all we're looking at. And also Highway 70 east of Las Cruces will remain open all day. So coming up at 6:17 for your weather and traffic on the 7s, we'll have a look at your west side drive times, plus I'll have an update on that slowdown on Montana that's coming up.
Okay, thank you, Mauricio. And keep it here because we have much more to come on Good Morning El Paso. Residents pleading with the government for help after heavy rains caused severe flooding over the weekend. Plus, protests continue following the president's impeachment in Brazil. It is 6:09, and this is ABC 7, where news comes first.
You're watching ABC 7's Good Morning El Paso.